Good morning. You are listening to UpReach, a morning devotional presented by the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee, to encourage you as you face the opportunities and challenges of today. Let's begin this day together with some inspiring thoughts from God's holy word. And as they were eating, Jesus took bread, blessed and broke it, and gave it to the disciples and said, "Take, eat, this is my body." Then he took the cup and gave thanks and gave it to them, saying, "Drink from it, all of you, for this is my blood of the new covenant, which is shed for many for the remission of sins. But I say to you, I will not drink of this fruit of the vine from now on, until that day when I drink it new with you in my Father's kingdom." Matthew chapter 26, verses 26 through 29. William Barclay writes, "I remember being in Newcastle upon Tyne once. In that city, at a very busy junction where many roads meet, there is a monument to the famous Earl Grey of the Reform Bill. It is on a tall pillar which soars hundreds of feet into the air. When you look up to the top of that pillar, you see two bright lights outstretched on metal arms shining at the top of it. And if you look a little more closely, you see that there are two other arms with two other unlit lights upon them. I wondered what this meant. Whenever there is a fatal road accident in Newcastle, then the two white lights are switched off and two red lights switched on. So in Newcastle they know when someone dies on the road. The red lights mean that a life has been lost. This seems to me an extremely wise and effective method of impressing a fact upon the people's minds. Indeed, this is what Jesus does too, when he takes bread and wine and uses them as symbols of his body broken and his blood shed for men. The Newcastle light is a reminder. It is meant forcibly to remind people that another has been added to the terrible toll of death upon the roads. Jesus says of the broken bread and the poured out wine, "This do in remembrance of me." The Newcastle light is a warning. When people see it shining red, it is a reminder that another has died on the roads, and it is meant to warn every motorist who sees it to drive more carefully, and every pedestrian to walk more watchfully. So the broken bread and the poured out wine are the symbols of the broken body and the shed blood of Christ, and are therefore the supreme warning of what sin can do. The Newcastle light is a challenge. It is a challenge to see to it that things like that do not happen in that city. A challenge to motorists and pedestrians and every road user so to live and move that that light will not shine again. In the elements of the Lord's Supper, we see the symbols and the signs of the agony of Christ, and there must come to us the challenge, you are worth all that. God considers you worth the life and the death and the suffering of his Son. And if you are worth all that, you cannot waste and soil your life. You cannot spurn that love and break your heart. You must seek forever to be worthy of that sacrifice and of that love. What about you today? Do you know you are deeply loved by God? Why not show him your love, honor, and obedience today? This has been UpReach, a presentation of the Church Street Church of Christ in Lewisburg, Tennessee. I am Kyle Bolton, the pulpit minister at Church Street, and I would like to personally invite you to come and share times of Bible study and worship with us each week. We meet every Sunday at 9 o'clock a.m. for our morning worship, followed by our Sunday school for all ages at 10:15 a.m. Then we meet again at 6 o'clock p.m. for our evening worship. We also have a midweek meeting for devotion and Bible study on Wednesdays at 6:30 p.m. I hope to see you there. Have a blessed day.
Some glad morning, when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. Fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more happy days and then